We wanted flying cars, instead we got 140 characters. With these words, Peter Thiel, the famous Silicon Valley investor who we've talked about before, joins the legions of people who consider that innovation in the past few years has slowed down somewhat, or that the time of great revolutionary inventions seems to have been left behind.
It's alive! It's alive! I love you!
Motorola! I mean, who else could have done it?
StarTAC. プレイステーション完備で
ポケットステーションが出ます。プレイステーションが安くなります。
A good example of this slowdown can be found in the automobile industry, an industry that has been pretty static for decades. Yes, cars nowadays are better than 10 to 20 years ago, that's for sure, but they are basically the same and they largely work in the same way. In fact, there is nothing substantial that you can do with a car today that you couldn't do 20 or 30 years ago. And of course, cars still don't fly.
May we present the Saab 95, your new dream car.
Sierra, Alpha, Alpha, Bravo.
And we're not talking about a simple industry here, but one of the biggest industries in the world. However, do hold on a second here, because everything suggests that finally we are on the verge of a great revolution in the realm of cars, a transformation that many experts have compared to the one in the early 20th century that was engineered by Henry Ford, where he began to use assembly lines to mass produce cars. Well, today, this new revolution seems to have two key features: the electric car and the autonomous car. And here, dear viewer, we have an unquestionable star, a company that has managed to start changing things and knows how to win the admiration of the many people who see it as an example of a new era that is about to begin. We are, of course, talking about Tesla, the company of electric cars that has managed to dazzle investors as well as governments and their consumers. In this video, we are going to see what kind of challenges Tesla is going to face in the coming years. So, let's dive in.
A history of wine and roses.
Tesla is a very young company. It was born in 2003 with the mission of producing an electric car capable of competing and defeating combustion engines. Since then, it has managed to basically put on the market four models: the Tesla Roadster, the Model S, the Model X, and the newcomer, the Model 3. Seems to be rather few, right? Well, despite this, in 2010 the company went public, and you know what happened? Well, Tesla, it's become one of the market stars. In these years, the price of their shares has multiplied by 18. Yes, just like that. In 2010, if you had invested $1,000 in Tesla's shares, today you would have $18,000. A pretty amazing investment. All this growth has led Tesla to fight for first place among the most valuable companies in the United States. At the time of publishing this video, if you want to buy it, well, prepare your wallet, because Tesla is worth more than $50 billion. This is more than the value of Ford, by the way, and they're not that far off General Motors. Just have a look at this chart from Business Insider. What do you think? Not bad, right? This is especially the case if we take into account that it is a company that is barely 14 years old and that, well, honestly, doesn't sell that many cars. General Motors, it sells 10 million cars each year, and Ford exceeds 6 million. But in 2016, Tesla managed to sell just 76,000 cars. Alright, so okay, many of you are probably thinking right now, well, come on, Tesla, they only sell luxury cars. And yes, that is true, but it's still just 76,000 cars, which is 3 times less than Porsche. This is what explains why General Motors sales in 2016 were almost $170 billion, while Tesla remains well below at just $10 billion. And no, do not think that what is happening is Tesla has very high margins and is earning a lot of money. Not at all, in fact. In fact, since the company was founded, it has not earned money in any single year. So, at this point, you're probably wondering, well, why then is it worth so much money on the stock market? Why has it been so successful there? And why indeed is this company so famous? Well, the answer to that is that the company has a lot to do with the revolution that's happening in the industry that we commented on before, and that's the introduction of electric and autonomous vehicles. For example, in 2016, there were more than 2 million electric cars on the road, 60% more than in the previous year. That is to say, we are talking about markets that are growing incredibly quickly. Further, technological advances have cut the price of this type of car.
A forecast by Bloomberg New Energy Finance said that electric cars would become cheaper than conventional cars without government subsidies between 2025 and 2030.
And on the other hand, many countries, including China itself, are betting on this technology as a way to reduce air pollution in cities and also as a way to reduce their dependence on foreign oil. It's not often that environment and national security come together in such a combination, but here we are. The point is that today, Tesla is the great reference point in this new industry. Many investors understand this and therefore value the future of the company highly. The company's own forecasts follow the same line and expect that production will increase from 100,000 cars in 2017 to 500,000 in 2020 and more than 1 million by 2022. It always seems like we're talking about the Apple of the automotive sector, right? Well, just wait a minute, because not everything that surrounds Tesla is quite so great.
A crusher of money.
Tesla, they have a problem, a very serious problem indeed. Tesla are a machine for burning money. Yes, you heard me correctly. Today, the business is not profitable and the company loses money every day. But not only that, it also has to make a lot of investment in order to compete. For example, its factories need pumping with loads and loads of money. If we look at the money that comes in and out of the cash box at Tesla, as we already did with Amazon, we can say that from 2010, when it went public, the company has swallowed absolutely everything that has entered it. The money from the car sales, as well as about $10 billion more. And the truth is that 2017 is not exactly Tesla's best year. In the first 9 months of 2017, it swallowed about $4 billion. Yes, really, $4 billion in 9 months. And not only that, but at the same time, its non-financial debt, for example, suppliers that have not been paid, has absolutely skyrocketed. For this reason, lights are beginning to flash red at the company. Consider this graph. Yep, in the last few months, Tesla has lost $16 million every single day. Money, of course, that it's had to cover with debt. But it doesn't stop there. Not at all. Tesla is also having many problems with its latest model.
Tesla reveals it just made 260 Model 3 cars due to production bottlenecks.
It also has quality problems and has dismissed staff, which, by the way, is a little bit weird when they seem to need to be making a lot more cars rather than less.
So do you want to see the car?
And so now you might be thinking, well, surely this has got to be the worst of it, right? Well, just wait a minute, because the worst of it is that the competition is moving really, really quickly. In 2016, the Renault-Nissan Group sold more electric cars than Tesla. And pretty much all big companies are already working on electric vehicles and autonomous cars, a business, by the way, which companies such as Apple, Google, and Uber are also getting into, and that's some pretty serious competition. So yeah, Tesla is not the only player at this game. The difference is that almost all of its rivals actually earn money and have research budgets at least as big as those at Tesla.
Daimler steals Tesla's thunder with heavy-duty electric truck.
So at this point, you might be thinking about what happens with Nokia and BlackBerry when Apple stood out from all the major companies with the iPhone. So now I ask you, do you think we can compare Tesla with Apple? Well, I do not believe that the answer is easy, but I do believe there are at least a couple of differences that we do have to take into account. First, Apple was always worried about earning money with the iPhone, and second, their product was something really disruptive, so much so that even the competition predicted its failure. Consider what Steve Ballmer, the then CEO of Microsoft, said.
$500? I said that is the most expensive phone in the world, and it doesn't appeal to business customers because it doesn't have a keyboard, which makes it not a very good email machine. Right now, we're selling millions and millions and millions of phones a year. Apple is selling 0 phones a year. In 6 months, let's see how the competition goes. Steve Ballmer, former CEO of Microsoft.
$500? I like our strategy. I like it a lot.
As we have seen, Tesla does not earn money or have any particularly surprising features. However, it has to be said that making a company earn money has not been the most motivating element for its CEO, the well-known Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, the visionary.
A visionary, a genius, ahead of his time. These are many opinions about Elon Musk, an entrepreneur who has become a billionaire from his ventures. And to be honest, these are businesses that have never worried about money, with the exception of PayPal. Tesla, Hyperloop, SpaceX, anything which Elon Musk is involved with sounds like science fiction and seems to have an infinite budget. If something is clear, it is that with his ideas, Elon Musk is influencing us in how we see and build our future. But this does not mean that the future is already written.
Tesla has done very useful work by opening the market for electric cars and showing that people may like them. Another issue is whether it can earn a lot of money when it reaches its final goal. I won't bet on Tesla as an investor. I think it will be very difficult to survive. Andres Allende, fund manager analyst, Cobas AM. The opportunity.
So does everything we've seen mean that Tesla is a company doomed to failure? No, of course not. Saying such a thing is certainly not our intention, among other things because the future is, by definition, uncertain, and because Tesla also has many competitive advantages. For example, today it has an obvious technological advantage. It is a leader in the development and manufacturing of batteries, which are the key to any electric car and very important for growth rates. And then there is also China.
China.
Do you know who the biggest market for electric cars is? Well, you might have guessed it from that last comment. It is indeed China. In this country, more electric cars are sold each year than on the rest of the planet combined, and its government has clearly opted for this technology. Well, Tesla is now negotiating the installation of a big factory in Shanghai with rather preferential conditions. And you know what? It seems that negotiations with the Chinese government are going in the right direction. Anyway, only the future will let us know what happens. But what is clear is that Tesla has been a turning point for the automotive industry, but that it is also a firm facing many risks. The last one, for example, comes from Washington. It seems that the fiscal reform of the Republican Party is going to finish public aid for the purchase of electric cars. Well, we will see how that matter ends, but when Hong Kong did something like that, Tesla's sales fell markedly. Anyway, now it's your turn. Do you think Tesla will be successful and will become the great car company of the future? Well, leave your answer in the comments below as well as in this survey, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and please hit that like button if you did. Also, don't forget to subscribe for brand new videos every Monday and Thursday. Also, check out our friends at the Reconsider Media podcast. They provided the vocals in this episode that were not mine. And as always, thank you for watching.
It's alive! It's alive! I love you!
Motorola. I mean, who else could have done it?
Start time. PlayStation 完備で
ポケットステーションが出ます。プレイステーションが安くなります。